Lauren Schaller here. I'm explaining my water filtration device and how I clean my water. So first I made my water really, really dirty with some helpful things like clay to get some good turbidity so I would have a nice control. Then I clarified the problem and how I was creating a model. I did some research with the class materials as well as my background in wastewater treatment in my environmental science classroom and also Project WET. I then made my alum concentrate, which I knew was going to be coming first based on the information, and I thought about the measurements and how I was going to create the ratio. And then I added the alum to a sample of my polluted water, and then I waited for the flocculation process. So here on the left you see the control, first dirty water, and then you can see the change in the turbidity with the flock on the right, first after 15 minutes and then after 30 minutes. I made sure to wash my charcoal, and I used the mesh to do that. Out of curiosity, I wanted to see how each substance dealt with the dirty water, so I actually tested each one separately here, as you can see. And then I created my device, and I chose for my device plastic water bottles because they could be easily cut and shaped. They already had an opening and they fit easily within each other, because as an environmental science teacher, I happen to have a lot of them collected from students. Then I started to put each layer into my device to start creating my stackable tower that I knew would hold up pretty well on its own. It was a little bit challenging, but then I realized that each section would hold open the next. And then I did my sand layer at the very top. And you can see in the top right that I used push pins because I needed to hold open that very, very top opening, so I had a place to pour the water in, and then I put my cheesecloth in the very top. And you can see that I have my quote-unquote geologic layers there. And then I finally got to pour my flock water into my tower. So I'll fast forward a little bit here, and you can see that it's pretty watertight. The structure is pretty sound, and that the water looks pretty clean as it comes out. And here are my results. You can see the control on the right, the flock in the middle, and my filtered water on the left that I'm currently pouring out. And then I'm doing a turbidity test again. I'll fast forward through that, and you can see my different results pretty clearly. I wanted to add that I also gave this to some of my high school students who finished their work early this week, and I really had to challenge them to come up with a design first and do lots of research so they could explain to me why they were doing each step. So where does this activity fit on the inquiry continuum? After some careful thought, I decided that we were teacher guided at the beginning because we were given our materials, we were given our questions, even though I had to constantly reshape and make this question my own as I was going through each step, because it just created, this activity just created more and more questions. And then we were guided in what data we were looking for, the clean water, but we had a lot of freedom in this, and a lot of decision-making power, and the data that we created really was our own. So I felt like that was a little more learner self-directed. And then we did formulate our own explanation, and we had to use our evidence, and I felt that this was just very learner self-directed. When we look at the scientific backing explanation, given that we were provided with the videos and the articles, we were really told directly what the connection was. So I felt that that part was more teacher-directed, but I felt like our communication, we were coached in how to present our results, but I felt that we could choose exactly what we were saying as we communicated these results in the end. So I was kind of surprised when I looked at this breakdown, because I felt that it was very inquiry-based. I felt we had a lot of freedom. I was making a lot of decisions. There was a lot of flexibility in this activity, but it really kind of stands in the middle once you look at the different components. So it's kind of midline on the inquiry continuum when you look at the different parts.